2020 has been anything but predictable. We've seen more innovation and change in 5 weeks than we have in the past 5 years. And as a result, we know there's no playbook now for a great workplace tomorrow. There are no best practices when these practices are yet to be created. And so what's required is this culture of experimentation, of innovation, and ultimately just trying new things. See, let's go over here. I want to share a story with you. Back in 2015, the Philadelphia 76ers were having a really tough season, right? Actually, they were so bad that they were 10-72, dead last in the NBA. Coach Brown had thought that he had tried everything, and he'd never been in a situation like this before. He tried different matchups, he tried harder practices, he tried easy practices, he tried benching players, he tried giving new players opportunities, and nothing was working. The team was absolutely floundering. He thought he was going to be giving up and that his job was going to be on the line until he heard something one day after one of the games, yet another loss. When he went into the change room, he saw all the players had their faces in their hands, deep sighs, no energy, no engagement, until he heard something in the back of the change room. He heard, "Whoa!" When he went to check it out, he saw that there was actually a player had put a rubber snake in the bag of one of the other players. In investigating further, he saw that they're actually laughing. Why were they laughing? The team had lost yet another game. They were 10-72. They were dead last in the NBA. See, if I were a coach in that situation, I would have done one of two things. I would have either ignored it altogether, or I would have said, "Win sprints tomorrow at practice. We can't be losing this many games." That's not what Coach Brown did. He had this appetite for trying new things, to try to innovate, to experiment, to do something different. And what happened as a result of that rubber snake in the gym bag of one of the basketball players was something actually incredible and a practice that they use today. See, Coach Brown said, "I want every player on this team over the next few months to give a 10-minute presentation about something that you're interested in, something outside of work and something bigger than your title. I want to know more about who you are, not just what you do or what position you play." So instead of just giving presentations to the people on the immediate team, to the players, the basketball players worked with marketing and communications to give a 10-minute presentation to the 250 76ers faculty and staff. One player gave a presentation about tattoos and the Maori history about how tattoos made it from New Zealand all the way up to North America, how it influenced basketball culture, and how it influenced one of the players themselves. Another player gave a presentation on coffee, about the Ethiopian 9th century history, how it made its way to North America, how it was banned in the 15th century for giving you superpowers, which, hey, the jury's still out, it kind of still does, but how he loved it in the morning, at lunch, at dinner, before practice, after the game. He loved coffee and he wanted to share that with the team. Another player, of course, the one who had put the snake in the bag, presented his 2 bearded dragons. When he put them back in their cage, already the team is feeling a little worried. He reached into his bag and pulled out a 4-foot python. He said, "I want to introduce you to Max." The team immediately filed back, shot back, and the team today still calls that the Max. They built that into a defensive drill based on how fast the team moved backwards. See, this wasn't much, right? It was little 10-minute presentations where the team could understand, learn, discover a little bit more about who these players were, not just on the court, but off the court as well. What happened after that was incredible. The team the next year won 16 games in a row, absolute franchise record. And their overall record for the year was nearly flipped. They went 52-30. They made it to the second round of the playoffs, and Coach Brown was all but a hero. See, it's this idea of experimentation, of innovation, of trying new and little things when there is no rule book. There is no best practice. There's an opportunity though. And today we're faced with incredible opportunities and we don't really know if we're going to get it right. So here's a tip that I've got for you. When you try something new, whether it's as incredible as working from home all at once, or it's a new team building trick that we can try, or it's how we conduct our Zoom meetings, or it's how we get our work done, I want you to ask the team 3 questions, okay? I want you to ask the team, what should we start doing? That's the first question. When we better understand a practice that maybe we picked up from somebody else the day before, the week before, the month before, maybe we can try that and it'll work really well for us. Number one, what should we start doing? Number two, what should we stop doing? Look, when we go through turbulent change like we just have, we're inevitably going to get things wrong, and that's okay. That's how we learn. But unless we're given the opportunity to voice that, to remove the thing that doesn't work anymore and free up some of that space, we're just going to be continuing, but not with best practice, with bad practice. Second question, what should we stop doing? The third question, what should we continue doing? Let's end these conversations on a positive note, because inevitably things are going to be working very well. What should we continue doing that's already working that we really enjoy? See, there is no playbook for the future. We know that to be true. And the best culture for us might be different than a best culture for somebody else. Heck, the best culture for our team might be different than a different team for the same company. But until we create this space where we can try new things, figure out what we should start, stop, and continue doing, we'll never be able to be intentional about the future that we're creating. And I know that when we build this culture of experimentation, when we build these opportunities together to grow, to learn, to develop, to fail, to succeed together, that's when we'll figure out what works for us, what makes our place a best place to work, and what truly makes work something that we get to do, not something that we have to do.